for me, as a chaplain, it's just such special work to be at the bedside with patients. And when we're not able to reach them because of language and culture, it's just such a blessing to be working with interpreters, to be able to take care of the patients. So I'd like to speak with you a little bit about, well, what is spirituality, and where does spiritual care fit into this realm of medical care? Let me ask, how many people here have already worked with chaplains? Okay, is there anyone who's not? Okay, well, that's going to end today because we're here with you. All right. Is everybody completely, totally comfortable already working with chaplains and entering into the realm of spiritual care with patients? Who's 100% comfortable, never has any questions about it or discomfort? Okay, we've got a couple. And is there anybody here who maybe has a little bit of discomfort or would like to learn some more? Okay, good. Well,
that's why you're here, right?
That's why we're here. Okay. So I'd like to talk about the importance of spirituality and healing. It's really a matter of interpretation. Let me start with one of the things I started the medical school with our medical students and with our physicians. And that's just to remind ourselves that all human beings are spiritual beings. We're people who are concerned with the future, with the aspect of hope. We're always living in the question of meaning and purpose, and who am I, why am I here, and what matters most. Relationships are so important, connections with each other, sense of belonging to our family, our friends, our larger community, a sense of belonging to life itself. Certainly faith is part of this dimension of spirituality, and a sense of comfort and peace. Aesthetics and beauty, you know, walking outside where there's a beautiful rainbow, it inspires us, a gorgeous flower. And a sense of right and wrong and justice. These are all some of the areas of spiritual concern. I'd like to look at the definition of what is spirituality. You know, there's so many different definitions. And I want to use one that from the annals, or from the American Academy of Family Physicians. Spirituality is the way you find meaning, hope, comfort, and inner peace in your life. Many people find spirituality through religion. Let me just stop at that for a minute. There's a Gallup poll that's been done over many decades, and it's been repeated. And they ask Americans if you believe in God. And what percentage of Americans would you say believe in God, according to the Gallup poll? What would you guess?
90.
I hear a 90. What else? I hear a 70-something.
85.
85. Well, the answer is 95%. 93%, 98%. Sometimes it dips a little bit lower, but it's always right around 95% of Americans, and you think of the diversity of who we are, will say yes, believe in God. And 6 out of 10 Americans, for 6 out of 10, they would say religion is a very important part of their lives. So that's a large amount of Americans. It also means that 4 out of 10 people, religion is not a very important part of their lives, and yet they believe in God, and it turns out all human beings are spiritual beings. So this is some of the background as chaplains that we're aware of as we walk into the room with our patients. We're also aware that some people find spirituality in many different ways. Outside religion, through music, through art, a connection with nature. Others find it in their values and principles. Here we have Yitzhak Perlman playing. We have a beautiful flower painted by Georgia O'Keeffe. And here's a march in Selma, Alabama with Martin Luther King, and there's a man standing to his left with a beard, a white man. That's Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. And people said, what's this rabbi doing? Rabbi, what are you doing out there marching? He says, I'm praying. I'm praying with my feet. And I love the story, getting back to Yitzhak Perlman. He's got polio, and he came out on crutches onto the stage. He was playing the concerto, and in the middle of it, one of the 4 strings on the violin snapped. Normally, a violinist would go backstage, put on a new string, and come out, but it was so difficult for him to walk, he stopped. He nodded to the conductor, and they continued, and he transposed the entire rest of the concerto onto 3 strings. And afterwards, someone commented on what he had said. He said, "You make music with what you have." Yeah. This is spirituality. Spirituality is love. It's especially love, and we see this so much at the bedside with caregivers. And what I'm reminded is that there's a kind of love that doesn't come in IVs, and that's the presence of loved ones. Prayer is a huge part of spirituality for many people. Not for everyone, but for many, and for those who are, it's especially comforting, and it can be powerful, and that's part of what we as chaplains especially bring as members of the healthcare team.